Alrighty. What's going on, guys? I'm doing another one. I guess this will be part 2 of the quote-unquote the Relaxed Random Recordings. Now, this still sounds a bit odd to me, but it's like, at the same time, of course it's gonna sound odd because it's something I just made up, right? And that's normally how it is whenever you make something up. But yeah, welcome. It is me, it is I'm a Bob with you once again. And hopefully y'all enjoyed my last video. I'm gonna try to upload a lot more. So yeah. It could be anything. It could be project. It could be a different game. You never know, okay? But we are still kind of on the roll when it comes to project because I really just love this game a lot. And for the random recordings for today, I am gonna take you again on a journey of me grinding in this game. Now, for the folks that have been playing this update, okay, as you saw in my previous video, I kind of took you through the majority of the story, as well as quite a bit of side quests, right? Took you through the majority of those. Well, there's probably a few questions y'all got, or a few things you're probably wondering. Hey, number one, after you completed the story, did you use those codes, them unattainable style codes, right? Because if you didn't know, there's 2 codes that you can use once you get done with the story, and you have a chance of getting a unattainable style, right? Well, if you look at my shadow, man, I didn't get so lucky. I got this style as well as that one. Both of these right here, those are the ones I got from the codes. Are they unattainable? Technically they are, right? And this is where a lot of people got pissed off, got very upset, kind of like what I was talking about in the previous video. A lot of people got pissed off because they didn't get lucky, right? Technically, yes, I do already have them styles. I had already had them, right? But I had never had them in my shadow man. Yeah, that's low-key like the April Fool's part of it, right? Okay, yeah, you have a chance of getting anything that's unattainable in terms of it being within your shadow man, which means I could have gotten base fighting style. I could have got boxing fighting style. You know, the styles from way back in 2020, the OG days, the days that I love so much, the days that I still remember till this day, right? Yeah, those styles. You have a chance of even getting those because technically they are unattainable as of right now. So yeah, I didn't really get so lucky about it, but you know, like I said, I'm not gonna get upset because hey, I have them in my shadow man, right? So I don't have to go to that particular NPC to you know, grab that style. So you know, I'm pretty happy, right? More stuff getting added into my shadow man, and we got a soul knife right here. I could sell this for 2 million yen, which if you look at my yen, I've gained quite a bit, right? So yeah, I also used quite a bit so I could be on the wealthiest families, which I don't even know where I'm at. I don't think I'm, yeah, now I'm like top 17. I want to stay within the top 20 for real. Now don't get me wrong, if I wanted to I could just put all my yen in the gang, but the thing is, the money that you put in the gang, it stays in there forever. You can't take it out. So yeah, but realistically speaking, I probably could be like top 12 maybe, but I just want to stay within the top 20. I don't think you're gonna get anything for being the quote-unquote wealthiest family, but I just want to make it well known that one day we will get a Mega Man style, and I will create it in terms of its like move sets, its mode. You know, I want it to be one of those styles, kind of like Ryoma, right? You have four different, you have four different styles within one, right? I want it to be like that, but Mega Man. I haven't brainstormed on it yet, but one day I will brainstorm on it and I will make it a suggestion, and hopefully everybody will like it. And who knows, maybe it get added into the game. That would be really, really, really wonderful. But I will do that one day. One day we will get Mega Man style. It'd be very, very awesome, and I feel like everybody would love it. I forgot about this guy. Yeah, but anyway, let's go on and get into the video on what we are going to be doing today. Today I'm gonna take you on a journey of how I farm for Bazaar tokens. Before I got sidetracked, as I always tend to do when I'm talking about things, I want to show you guys, probably, in my opinion, the fastest way. I do believe it's probably the fastest way in terms of farming Bazaar tokens, right? I'm going to show you what I use, which you kind of already saw what I use, but I'm going to show you what I use. I'm going to take you through the journey of me farming, and yeah. As you see, I've already been farming Bazaar tokens. I've kind of done it on stream, on and off stream and all that. But today we're gonna actually get done. All I need is 3 more tokens, right? That's all I need, and then I'll be able to get everything out of here that I need that I don't necessarily have. I don't have Dead Souls Majima. I don't have Rokushiki, if I said it right. And I have this style, right? I have it, but I don't have it in my Shadow Man. So I'm going to get it so I have it in my Shadow Man, all right? And then besides that, I know you can get mastered formless. You have a chance of getting it when you do BR as of right now. So who knows? That may be the next video. That may be the next part of random recordings. Who knows, man? Where I don't know. You may just get to see me brainstorm, BR builds. I know a lot of people have been pretty interested in, seeing one of those videos again, where I make like a random, just funny build that is actually somewhat decent for BR. Or who knows? It may be busted, right? But yeah. Like I said, today we're gonna take you on a journey of how I farm Bazaar tokens, okay? So let's go on and get started. One of the best styles probably in the game in terms of farming PvE related things, in my opinion, is HANMA. He is also one of the things that is in the Bazaar shop, right? So if you don't have him, I would recommend getting him ASAP. He's only 3 tokens. If you've never done the Bazaar token grind, you can get them really, really quick. But if you've already been doing it, it may take you like a little bit of time, right? It may take you like 30 minutes or something, 45 minutes to grind 3 tokens. I don't know. I know on the original map, yeah, it would probably only take that much time, right? On this map, it may take a little bit longer, but it should be still pretty quick, right? So like I said, HANMA, he's easily the best style in the game, in my opinion, in terms of farming PvE related things. When Stark V2 got released, I feel like that was, before it got nerfed, that was probably better. I'm not gonna lie. I feel like that was probably better, but we could say bare minimum, it was most definitely on the same tier, if not better, as HANMA. Okay. Now, what makes HANMA so good is the passive that he has, where you do basically 3 times PvE damage, right? You do 3 times more damage versus bosses, and I'm pretty sure you do 3 times more damage towards the NPCs, right? So that's why I would recommend using him in terms of grinding the dungeons. Okay, now in terms of what you should use, in, you know, when it comes to sub implant, main implant, your relic, how you should be doing your stats, here's what I use. Okay, now if you have heavenly restriction, I would advise you to use that. I remember it was a Brody from a previous vid. He was talking about Black Flash, which, if you're doing DR grind, Black Flash is insanely just cracked with Udra. I'm not gonna lie. You could probably use that and simple domain. Imagine putting both of those together, and then you're going like max strength. Oh my gosh, you're probably hitting a flash like every M1 or dang near. I don't know if there's like a main implant that can increase your chances even more. Probably, I don't know, but you know, I don't have Black Flash. Maybe if I get lucky enough within like a sub giveaway and I don't know, I just get another implant of choice, I'll most definitely go for it. But yeah, I would recommend using heavenly restriction, mainly because you're going to be resetting your levels over and over and over again, right, to get those tokens. I don't know how cracked Black Flash is. I know it's cracked, but I don't know if it's more cracked than heavenly restriction in terms of like being a level 0, no stats, right? But I would probably recommend just using heavenly restriction. Your implant, you can use Dragon Spirit. I don't even know what this does. I'm gonna be honest, I don't know what this main implant does, but apparently it's good. Yeah, I don't even think I've ever even used the ability, bro. Is it not ability? I guess it's not ability based. It does something. I don't know what it does. I have to look into Trello, but I heard from some folks that Dragon Spirit is really good, so it probably like increases your damage even more, if I had to take a guess, right? You know, if y'all know what it does, you could just let me know in the you know, in the comment section. I always check it, right? And then for your relic, I would recommend to go with Rage, because surprisingly, the passive that you get whenever you have your bar like completely filled up, you get like, I don't know, like a 25% strength bonus with like a 20% durability bonus or something like that whenever you have the full bar, and it still works even with heavenly restriction. So, you know, it's kind of like the infinite gauntlet when, you know, you can take out the enemies and you'll still get all the stones, but you won't be able to use them, but you'll still get like that M1 bonus or whatever. I don't think it works with heavenly restriction because it cancels it out, because if it did work, the damage would just, you know, the damage just scales way too high. And I feel like the game kind of does that sometimes. When you have a really cracked build, it cancels out the damage. It's almost as if like once you reach a certain threshold of damage using certain things, it just cancels it out. Kind of reminds me of Shindo in a sense. I don't know why. Like when it comes to PvP, like people would be making these crazy combos, and then the devs would make it where, all right, if you use this move and you try to combine it with that move, nah, it's not gonna work. Instead, we're gonna put both of those moves on cooldown because we know what you're trying to do. And I ain't gonna lie, there was a lot of moves like that in Shindo in terms of PvP, where people will make these like cracked one-hit combos, and then devs would be like, yeah, you try to use that with that, nah, use that one move, the other move you're trying to use, nope, it's gonna be on cooldown too. So I don't know, kind of reminds me of that. But yeah, heavenly restriction, if you don't know what it does, it restricts you from using your skills, your imagination skill, your like your main implant skill as well. so that's probably why I couldn't use it. I didn't think about it until I just brought it up again. I know, just me being I'm a doodle bob here. I remember I had heavily restriction one time and I kept on trying to use Snapgate, and I'm like, why is it not working? Like, is this game bugged? And then I looked up like, oh, I have, you know what I mean? I have heavily restriction. Crazy. I feel like if I were to get like a balance change, I would probably, I don't know. I feel like I'll probably buff heavily restriction, but I'm gonna be honest with you, because they nerfed it where you only do 3 times in 1 damage. But I don't know. I'd be like, yo, let me buff it back to 4 times. Let me buff it back to 4 times. And then if they wouldn't allow me to do that, I want the bare minimum I want is to be able to use Snapgate and Insight when you have heavily restriction. Now, I don't think anybody would necessarily complain about that, right? Because those are just 2 abilities. One of them, you're just looking at people's stats. Who cares, right? Like, how is that gonna mess up a PvP fight if you just look at somebody's stats with heavily restriction? You know what I mean? Like, that's just like, you know, Snapgate, I could see people having a problem with it, but I'm pretty sure they already made it where if you're in combat, you can't use Snapgate until like you're out of it or whatever. So yeah, I don't think it would be a problem if I were to do something like that with heavily restriction. But if I do get like another balance change or something, it's either that or I'm gonna buff like Ryoma, because not only buff it, I want them to fix the bugs that is persisted with Ryoma, where sometimes if you switch your style too fast enough and you do certain moves, it'll just bug your character completely. You can't do any moves, your character's froze. And it doesn't just bug your character for that 1 life, it bugs your character for like the whole game. Like, you have to actually leave, rejoin, stuff like that. I'd want them to fix that, make it where you can actually use all the grabs in the different modes, you know, different styles on the bosses. And I'd probably buff the mode damage too, you know, the mode damage multiplier. It's either I would do that if they think that's like way too crazy. Like, obviously I'm not gonna be like, okay, buff the mode to like 2.2 times, right? Like, that's crazy. Like, what are we talking about? Ultra Ego Ryoma edition? Like, hello? No. But I don't know, I feel like, if it was me, it's either I buff the mode slightly to make it, you know, have a slightly higher damage multiplier. It's either that or make it where you can use the trap cards while you're in mode. Like, you can use the trap cards while you're in and out of mode. I don't know if that would make it even more buggy or not, but if it, you know, if they can do that, yeah, that'd be pretty cool. Because you know, the trap cards or the trooper cards, you know, they're really cool to use. Make it where you can use it with mode, and also buff them, you know, give them like a bigger buff, because you can barely even notice like the buff that the cards do for real. And I doubt people really even use the cards like that. If people, you know, normally when people are using the cards for your Ryoma, it's normally just to get the wave action to happen, right? Because that does like very good damage. You know, that's normally what people try to do whenever they get it. But yeah, I know I'm just yapping, but I don't know, man. Hey man, it's a RRR video, you feel me? So I mean, hey, I feel like in any video I just tend to yap a lot. I'm pretty sure y'all enjoy it. But yeah, like I said, heavenly restriction, I think it doubles your dash range, and it increases your M1 and M2 damage by like 3 times, or just your M1s in general. It increases it by 3 times. I think back then it used to be 4 times damage, but it got nerfed because I guess it was just too busted in terms of PvP. Because, you know, PvE, like, who cares, right? is always just PvP. That's the why thing. That's the main reason why things normally get nerfed. And he spawned again. Oh yeah. Another question that I saw in my comment section for the previous video. I think somebody was asking me how to get Majima, and I think they were talking about Captain Majima, man. People have been just, oh my goodness, Brodies have been flipping out when it comes to Captain Majima. Now me, I bought it. Should I have bought it? Probably not. I should have probably not bought it. I should have probably tried to get it, right? So I could have made a video on it, because I'm pretty sure that video would have probably got a bunch of views, you know what I'm saying? But pretty much the way that you get it, you have to kill this Majima boss until he drops you it. Apparently it's pretty rare. Probably like a 1% chance. I wouldn't be surprised if they made it like a 0.5. But yeah, you have to basically keep on taking them out, and it's, to be honest, it's not too bad. It's not too shabby, because what you could do, hop in a private server, run over here to this trash can, he's gonna spawn, take him out, leave the server, come back, and just keep on doing that, right, until you basically get him. That's probably what I would do. As you seen, I'm not even max level. I'm using, with my build, I just took him out easily. I just M1'd him, you know, he popped this mode, and then yeah, I popped his life. You know, like, I mean, hey bro, you don't mess with the HANMAs, bro. Okay, you just don't. You know, Bakians, they're a different breed, man. What can I say? But yeah, again, this is pretty much my build. All I do is I literally just put all my stats in the strength, because we're using heavenly restriction, so you can't use your moves anyway, so it wouldn't make sense for me to try to, like, you know, have my moves usable. Nah, because you can't use them anyway. You're just purely M1 M2 guy. You're just an M1 guy, like his ABA, you know. And as you see, your dash, you have a very good dash for heavenly restriction, but the downside is that you can't use any of your skills, right? But let's say you have a relic, for example, right? Because I know you're like, man, what type of relic am I gonna use if I can't use it, right? Well, if you have a relic like Rage that has a really good passive to it, where, you know, the longer you stay alive, you know, the stronger you get. That's if you want to just stay in the server. I wouldn't really recommend that in terms of leveling up. You know, once I normally get done with a dungeon, I just leave automatically. I hop back in and I just do the dungeon again, right? So I think it has like a, I don't know how long the cooldown is. I remember somebody saying it was like 3 minutes. Nah, I don't think it's 3 minutes. It's probably like 10 minutes or something. But, you know, it's like, why would you wait for 10 minutes when you can just leave, hop back in the server, and the dungeon just appears within like 30 seconds, like 30 to 45 seconds, you know what I mean? But as you see, it's just an M1 simulator. All you gotta do, M1 these guys, and with my build, as you see, I'm pretty much dang near one-shotting them. Now, when you have no stats, it takes like 2 M1 combos to kill them, which it's really not that bad, right? And obviously with your M1s, right, your rage bar increases, and once it maxes out, you get an even better, you know, strength and I think durability bonus, if I'm not mistaken. So yeah, it's really useful for that, and that's what makes this, you know, really quick. Makes it really quick, you know. So as long as you just kind of take your time, just like me, take your time here, take all the guys out, and then you got the boss fight. Very easy. I don't know what to tell you. You just M1 the guy. You know, you just double team him with the wall. That's all you really got to do. Now, yes, I'm pretty sure you have to watch this cutscene every time. I wish you could probably skip it. I don't think you can. So you have to watch it every time. But I mean, it's a really cool cutscene, bro. And again, just like I said in the previous, well, I think I said it in the previous video, but if I didn't, I mean, they really cooked with this update. I'm not gonna lie. And there's still a lot of room for, you know, even more stuff, you know, for this update, man. So I mean, I'm most definitely pumped to see what else we're gonna get. I mean, we may get Kairu V2, you know. Who knows, man? We may be able to get, you know, V1 if they, you know, decide to be generous enough on that. As you see, this guy, all you do, you just get him up to a wall and you basically just M1 him. You just keep on M1ing him. He can't even do anything because he's like basically still stunned, right? That's the gimmick. If you get him on the wall, bro, and you just keep on spamming the M1 combo, he's basically like infinitely stunned. He can't really do anything. Even when it comes to like a player, you get them on the wall, bro, and you keep on doing the M1, a full M1 combo. You hit them with that M2, they're stunned for like maybe like 0.5 seconds or something like that, or a second. And it's like, since you got them on the wall, they can't necessarily take knockback, right? Well, they're taking knockback, but the wall is just nullifying it like completely. So that's what allows you to just keep on infinitely comboing them, and they pretty much have no choice to just take that combo unless they have a evasive, or, you know, maybe if they manage to get a counter to just pop in time, right? Or if you're just Majima over here, you just pop a counter evasive and it just ruins their life. then they you know, they start thinking about maybe hopping off the game for tonight, because yeah. Now, one thing I would recommend, guys, every time that you are farming for Bazaar tokens, as you see my XP boost time, I have over 80,000 seconds. Why? Because I was using protein shakes. I was drinking them as if it was food, you know what I'm saying? I was drinking them imagining I had you know, a big old like Big Mac, you know what I'm saying? Big Mac, a 30-piece chicken nugget, you know, with like 10 packs of barbecue sauce, you know. And by the time I realized that I had drunk like about 40 of these things, I was like, dang, I drank so many of these bad boys, I got crazy time. But they're pretty cheap, very, very cheap. And that's another thing I will say about this update, man. This is a very good way not only to, you know, gain levels, gaining them good old Bazaar tokens for your boy. This is a very good way of farming yen. I've honestly gotten over 100 million yen by just farming this, you know. So if you really want to get some good yen before we end up heading, you know, before we head back to you know, Project Baki again, I would recommend it, man. You most definitely want to farm this. How much yen should you grind exactly? I don't know. As much as you want. Am I gonna grind yen like that? Nah. You know, because I honestly prefer grinding yen the BR way, aka boss rush, you know, because that's how I grinded so much yen, if you're wondering how I did during the Dark Continent event. Because I man, boy, I played the bejeebus out of that and tried to get everything from the day it started to like the day it ended, you know. But I was still missing out on a whole lot of stuff. But who knows, it may come back one day, and if it does, I'm gonna grind it even more. But yeah, if you're wondering how many runs it takes you to hit max level, if I had to take a guess, I would say probably like I don't know, 5 to 7 runs of this. I mean, I'm gonna basically grind like 2 more tokens after I hit max. So y'all, you know, if you go, you know, you scroll through the video, you could probably just let me know how many runs it took with the protein shake. But I mean, like, you know, like you see right here, once you start getting some levels in your bucket, in your pocket, man, you can basically just one-shot these guys with a full M1 combo, which makes it very, very easy. And as you see, you can hit multiple of them at a time, but you still want to be careful, because if you get too many of them on you, there is a chance that you may just get infinite comboed, like I was talking about previously. You know, you may get infinite comboed on the wall, and yeah, you just can't do anything until you just get fully unstunned, right? That's the thing that's kind of crazy about it. Like, yeah, you can infinite wall combo somebody, but hey, the same thing could happen to you. And you know, if it happens, there's really nothing you can do about it. As you see, even with no durability, I am pretty tanky, man. You know, I can take some good old M1s, right? Not too many though. Also, another thing I noticed, it's almost like every time you kill one of these guys, you get like an instant level up no matter what level you are. Like, I think these guys are just programmed to just level you up instantly every kill you get by like one level. Or maybe not. I don't know. I think so. That's just, you know, just a assumption I have. Let me see. Yeah, look at that. It's like every kill you gain a level, which makes the process even faster. Because I'm not gonna lie, when I first hopped on the update when it came out, that's literally the first thing that I thought of. I was like, okay. I looked at the Bazaar shop. I'm like, holy cow, I've never seen the Bazaar shop be this good in my life. Okay, this is probably the best Bazaar rotation I've ever seen, and I hope that the Bazaar rotations stay like this, okay? Because yeah, they put some good stuff in there, bro. They put some good old stuff in there. All right, I mean, I get to attain Dead Souls Majima and be able to use it, gang. I thought I would never get that. Same thing with, you know, OG Majima. I thought I would never get that, but you know what I'm saying? They're both. OG Majima is really fun to use, bro. Like, one of my favorite moves on it is like when he just starts breakdancing, because boy, oh boy, not only it does damage, it just looks really, really flashy. It kind of reminds me, you know, back then in 2020 when everybody used to be using that breakdancing style, bro. And it was fun. It was fun to use that style. That style was also pretty toxic, man. Yeah, people. Woo-wee. Now, if you ask me what I used way back in 2020, back when I used to actually do PvP on the game and all that, I used that boxing style, baby, because yo, that boxing style was incredible, gang. I used to be using that, and it only had 3 moves. That's the funny part. You know, you had that little flash step, or you had that yeah, like the little flash step where you do like a little, you know, do like a little dash. You had the liver blow, and then you had that like 1 2 3 combo. And that's literally what I used like every time when I fought people. So that's what I would use every time, man. Ain't gonna lie, I beat a lot of folks with that mess too, bruh. It was pretty funny. And you know, folks would still be getting mad and upset, even though they was using styles that were on a way much higher, you know, caliber. But it was just that in terms of like a M1 battle, in a sense, if you catch my drift, like I would always be able to hit them before they could hit me. So, you know, it's just one of them type of things. But yeah, man, I don't know, bro. 2020 Baki was fun, really fun. I remember because during that time I had just got into Baki, right? I was getting into the anime, I was starting to read the manga, and yeah, I was stoked when I looked on Roblox and I saw it was an actual project. Like, it was an actual Baki game, bro. I was like, yo, this is this is insane. Like, what? How did I just randomly stumbled upon it, right? Because that's the thing. Baki was one of the things that I just stumbled across on my own, which is, you know, pretty rare nowadays when it comes to, you know, the internet and how it is, you know. It's almost impossible to just kind of, you know, find things on your own, right? Because everything is just like, it's just out there. You feel me? Like, yeah, pretty much no choice but to see it. But yeah, Baki was one of them things where I kind of just discovered it on my own, because I was, you know, currently looking for, during that time, I was looking for like animes that involved like martial arts, a lot of fighting and all that. And that's when I came across Baki. And I was like, yo, this is so dope, bro. Because I like how, you know, there's certain points within the show and the manga where they give like realism to it, right? Like they start talking about, you know, real life and giving like comparisons of how it would be in real life versus how it is in the show, right? Kind of like that one inmate where he was like, yo, what's like the deadliest gas, you know? And then you had that one clip where Brody he broke through like some crazy bulletproof breakdown bedrock proof glass. Like, bro, he broke it with like just using the vacuum within the palm of his hand, and that was crazy. And then, you know, he had like the officers, he's trying to, you know, the officers are trying to get him, and he literally just puts his hand over their face, and then they're just slumped, bro, like instantly slumped. And I'm like, whoa, this guy's crazy. He even did the same thing to Baki, but, you know, once Baki realized, you know, his trick, I think he told him his trick. He's like, oh, okay. Yagami. Is it Yagami? Yagami? No, it's like Nagami or Yanagami or something like that. You get what I'm saying, right? The dude that not only had that, he also had the whip style, which that was one of the things they gave realism to in terms of real life. Like they're saying, you know, when it comes to like the forms of pain that you can take, right? If you were to get like, you know, a guy that's pretty beefy, he got muscles, and you were to punch him, right? It probably wouldn't do that much damage compared to if you were to, you know, do that to somebody that's not as muscular. It'll probably do even, you know, do more damage to them, right? Because their bones ain't as like dense or whatever. But whenever it comes to like a slap, it doesn't matter how big or small you are, it will afflict the same, if not more damage, because a slap hits the nerves a heck of a lot better than a punch, you know, since a punch is like blunt, and then, you know, a slap is I don't know what you would call it, but you catch my drift, right? So as you see, we're level 999. I don't know how long it took, maybe like about 10 minutes or something. But once you hit max, you turn in your token, you know, you turn in your level, you sacrifice all of them, and you do it all over again. So yeah, you do it all over again, and you just hop back in there, you go ham. But yeah, like that, when I saw that, bro, he hit Baki with the whip style, bro. Baki was in so much pain, it wasn't even funny. And bro, the damage that it did to like his body was just gruesome, bro. It was very, very gruesome. But the first time he fought him, it was tough, bro. Cause he got hit by that, he didn't know how to react, bro. It was crazy. Brody was like Bro, he was grunting so hard, rolling in the grass. I'm like, yo. I'm like, bro, I don't know what I would do if I were to get hit by that, because you know that hurts. Imagine somebody being able to learn that type of martial arts in real life and they hit you with that. Dude, your soul is going to exit your body immediately. But, you know, after, you know, Baki, he got some pull, you know, as they say. You know, he was with his girl and he, you know, he had his, he had a good old experience with his girl, bro. Bro, he turned into a whole nother breed, man. Brody was, yeah, he was all about the smoke, man. And you know what was so funny was when he was like, you know, doing what he did with like his girl. Dude, you can see his dad in the background just like grinning, bro. I'm like, yo, when did his dad get here, right? I'm like, bro, when did this motherfucker get here? Like, what are you doing here, man? He's just like this menacing grin. I'm like, what the fuck? What are you doing here, dude? As you see, it's taking like 2 full M1 combos, which is honestly not that bad in terms of, you know, having no stats with the build that I have. You know, it's pretty chill. It's pretty chill, man. But yeah, it's just like a typical run. You basically want to, you know, go through all the rooms as you see I'm doing, because they always spawn in like these they always spawn in the office. Now when it comes to these rooms right here, they never spawn in it, so you don't have to check these. You just want to check the offices, because there's always like 2 to 3 of them guys just chilling in there, you know. But yeah, you just want to keep on M1ing these guys. If you know, start getting hit a bit, no worries, bruh. No worries whatsoever. You'll be able to tank it. I remember at first I was kind of worried about that. I was like, yo, like, what if I take too much damage? Like, I was low-key like trying to, you know, chill, like I'm doing the dungeon. Which I did do the dungeon. I did record it. I have to post that too. I'm gonna have to like rewatch it and see, like, you know what I'm saying. But yeah, I did do the Song Jung Woo for V2. I made a recording of it. I just gotta post it. But yeah. Yeah, I remember I was first going through this. I'm like, yo, like my health is getting low. Like maybe I should, you know, chill out for a bit, regen my health, like, you know, because it was like my first time really grinding this dungeon like that. And you know how it is, but you try to be careful, and then, you know, you're being careful and you're making more mistakes being careful than if you were to just play the game, right? Or at least that's how it is with me, bro. You kind of just start overthinking things. Like, bro, all you gotta do is M1 these guys. Like, why are you making it more complicated than what it has to be, my guy? But I don't know, I tend to do that sometimes. Sometimes it's a good thing. Most of the time, I don't know. Why am I doing it? I'm low-key wasting my time, you know what I mean? Wasting valuable time. I'm too busy like sweating over something that is toddler level. You get what I'm saying? Overthinking something that's like toddler level. Like, come on, fam. Something that only takes a few seconds, and I'm making it seem like it's gonna take like minutes to like half of an hour. Like, come on, bro. You gotta do better, bro. But anyway, you know, back on another thing, when I'm just talking about, you know, Baki and all that. Bro, this dude dad was just in the background, bro, and I'm like, bro, I ain't gonna lie, I was like, yo, Baki, you know, Baki really doing his thing. Like, bro, bro leveled up. Bro got that blood. He like, he's a whole nother person, bro. He goes against the same dude again. He used the whip style on him, and this guy doesn't even budge. He literally doesn't even budge, bro. And I'm like, what? And like I said, you see the damage it did to him. It looks gruesome. Like, oh my gosh. like, bro, beyond repair. You get what I'm saying? And he's just sitting there like, it's nothing. You know? And he just proceeds to just basically beat the bejeebus out of him. Literally. I'm pretty sure he went against like a couple of the inmates while he was in that state. And that, yeah, he was just a whole nother, bro. He leveled up completely, bruh. And I'm like, dang, bro. I'm low-key thinking to myself, I'm like, bruh, is that how it really is? You do, you know what I'm saying? You do that for the first time in your life, and you just power up like that. That is crazy, bro. God, shoot, Zenkai boost? Nah, bro got something higher than that, game. Bruh. Bro increased his imagination to the next tier, bruh. Oh my gosh. I'm like, bro, this is insanity. But yeah, that's just me talking about the show a bit. You know, I love Baki a lot. It's up there. I feel like for me, it's probably one of my, I'd probably put it like top one in terms of like fighting, you know, anime, manga. Like it's really good, man. Really, really good. So like I said, when I had figured out that was a thing, that it was a show, I had a manga for it, even though the manga, I ain't gonna lie, it was pretty confusing for me to kind of read through it because there's so many different versions of Baki. So it's like I had to low-key look on Reddit to see like how do I read these, like which order do I read these, right? Because there's like so many of them. Like, holy cow. It's like, don't get me wrong, I saw, oh my gosh, there's so many of them. Like I was happy as fuck because I'm like, yo, that's a lot of you know, content to kind of indulge in. Oh, see, that's the move I'm talking about right there. Oh my gosh. Oh man, counter evasive. I'm about to get literally tossed. Yikes. Don't do this to me, gang. I wasn't even trying to summon you, but let's kind of get you to the wall. Let's kind of get you to the wall right quick, gang. But as you see, even with no stats, like no stats, I'm doing so much damage to this guy. Oh, I'm dead. Watch. He's gonna probably pop that. Yup, I'm dead. I already knew he was gonna pop it. I mean, what do you do against that? You're hitting him, he pops a counter evasive. I don't know if you, I mean, that's what I call it, but yeah, he pops a counter evasive. I mean, you're literally cooked, my guy. I don't know what to tell you. Wow. But did I just one shot? Bruh, he must have did some crazy damage to him. Yeah, let's go and take him out. And I do occasionally take this guy out because who knows? What if I just get the pop-up that I attain him? Because I low-key want that to happen, so it's like I can show y'all proof that it's possible, because people still don't think that you get Captain Majima by killing this guy. Oh my gosh, it's more damage go burr. Holy bejeebus. Bro, that damage go burr, bruh. What? That damage. Oh, nah. Yeah, beat him up, beat him up, beat him up, beat him up. I wonder what happens if the NPC kills him. I remember something like that happened when I was farming, like Shadow Musashi. Like I was using Necromancer, and like the little you know, clone thingamajiggies that you can spawn. I remember like killing Shadow Musashi with it, and it like kicked me from the game because I don't know. Yeah, I guess he wasn't supposed to do that or something. But yeah. Anyway, like I said, whenever you're farming this dungeon, all you want to do every time you level up, you want to put all your points in the strength, because with Heavenly Restriction, all you're doing is M1ing, M2ing, but mainly M1ing, because yeah, that's all you're really doing. You probably could M2 these guys, but you might as well just do a full combo every time, just to make sure that they go down for the count. If you can one-shot them with M2s, I guess you can do that, but I just prefer doing a full combo, especially when they kind of try to, like, multiple of them try to gang up on you. If you're doing a full combo, they're gonna get probably caught into it 9 times out of 10, kind of like that. So yeah, you know, how y'all feeling today, man? If you've gotten like 50 minutes into the video, because we're like 50 minutes into the video already, kind of crazy. Oh. Hopefully all y'all are doing splendid, you know, doing really, really good, man. You were to ask me, I'm doing good, you know. I've been chilling as always, you know. Been chilling. That's one of the brodies that I used to see all the time when I used to play LTR on TikTok. It was a lot of people that used to hop in whenever I used to live stream ALTR on TikTok. It's a really, really fun time. I really enjoyed playing that and you know, live streaming it. Got a decent amount of folks in it too, you know. I was like, wow, like seems like a lot of people, you know, not only like the game, but a lot of people like watching me, you know, play the game. And people also got to play the game with me as well, you know. I'd always have people in there farming. We'll be farming for, like, you know, attack serum, and I don't think we really farmed that much for armor serum. I don't think I ever, yeah, I don't know if I did I think I did, yeah. But I ain't really farmed for armor serum that much. Everybody wanted to go for attack, so that was one of the main things we'd be going for, whether we would be trying to go for it in missions or in raids. Sometimes I'll try to help people with like some of the achievements within the game, like supremacy. If you're wondering what that is, you basically play on the highest difficulty called aberrant and add modifiers. You had to add like basically dang near every modifier in the game and basically complete the mission, right? No, it sounds kind of tough. At first it was tough, but once you get better with, like, once you get well informed in terms of how the Titan mechanics are and the type of Titans and what they do and everything, it's not that bad. Plus there's also like strategies that you can do, which they do involve teamwork for the most part. That does make it a lot easier. AKA somebody has aggro on a Titan and a person that doesn't have aggro, they attack it, right? And you just kind of keep on doing that, rinse and repeat, and eventually you get done. Will it take a long time? Yeah, probably, but I mean, hey, you don't have to do supremacy multiple times for the achievement. You only got to do it once. So I mean, hey, if it takes you an hour to get that achievement, and you know, I mean, hey, you know, if it takes you like an hour to get it, you know, get supremacy done, then hey, that's the only time you ever have to do it, right? But yeah, where was I? Baki. So pretty much I got in, you know, I really started to enjoy the show, started to read the manga, and eventually I was like, yo, you know, because I was still on Roblox at that time. At that time, 2020, I was playing Heroes Online. I was like one of the main games I was playing, and I was playing that a lot. It's probably one of the only games I can say I am a complete veteran in. Like, I was in that game since it came out until it basically just stopped receiving updates and everything. I had pretty much everything in that game. Okay, it's probably one of the only games I can say I was a complete veteran. Like, I pretty much 100% at the game. You know, knew a lot about the game. I knew builds that were really, really good for like PvE, I knew some decent builds for like PvP too, but those builds weren't as good as my PvE builds, you know. But I did indulge in PvP a bit. But I mean, the funny thing is, the main build I had for PvE, it was also pretty good for PvP, man. You know, I used fat absorption with overhaul, and that was a really crazy, that was a really cracked combo for PvE. I'm telling you, bro. I was like one of the most cracked combos until they like released Dark Shadow, and then I started to use Dark Shadow with I think I started to use it with fat absorption, and then I tried it with overhaul, and I was like, I don't know. I think I decided to go with fat absorption because it was a way much more suited build. It was way much better because, you know, you could take damage, convert that damage into damage that you can do, basically damage that you can send back to, you know, your opponents and stuff. And that's what made it really, really good, because you'll get like, you know, especially when it came to dungeons on there, you know, you'll get to the final part and you're having to fight like 5-6 bosses at the same time. So you just go, you know, you gather all the bosses up, or I would, right? I'd gather all the bosses up, and then I just pop the one move where I'm just sitting there absorbing all the damage. I absorb all the damage they do. I send it straight back at them, and it's like, bro, I do 999 damage, right? I just basically do the maximum damage back to them. All the bosses are dang near dead, and then I just come in with like Dark Shadow, and I just barrage them, and they're basically dead, bro. It was really cracked, bro. Really, really cracked. I used to be speed running like dungeons on the hero side and the villain side, which, if you were to ask me which one was more difficult, the hero side was way much more difficult than the villain side. The villain side was easy. The hero side, you having to go against overhaul, that guy was tough, bro. Plus, those levels on the hero side, you had to do a lot of parkour. So yeah, it was a lot of parkour you had to do, man. And boy, that parkour would most definitely be burning the bejeebus of your time. It would be burning it quite a lot. So yeah, I guess overall, I played Heroes Online during that time. But yeah, once I came across Baki, I started to grind that. I met like quite a bit of folks that are still like very good friends of mine, you know, on Baki way back in the OG days. And I played it a lot. Then pretty much towards the end of like 2020, towards the end of 2020, the game, I don't know, at one point after they did like the prison update with like the inmates and all that, the game didn't get like an update for probably about 2 to 3 months straight, bro. Like it was a long time before the game got an update, and I kind of just hopped off at that point because I already had everything that I could possibly have, like styles and stuff like that during that time. And you know, 2020, that was a time where it was completely like Baki related. There wasn't any other, you know, there wasn't all these other styles that you see nowadays, and it wasn't none of that, right? It was just purely Baki related. So eventually it kind of branched out into having like different styles and all that. So, you know, like 2021, 2022, and so far, you know, and so on. That's when we started to see different styles, but I wasn't there for that because I was too busy playing Shindo. That was the next like big game that I started to play. My boy Trap, he got me into Shindo because I didn't know what it was. They was like, yo, you know, he showed me one of like the older Shindo games or whatever, right? By like the devs. He showed me like a previous version, and I was like, it's actually not that bad, right? And then when they came out with the Shindo that I know of, I started playing that, and I grinded that a lot. I grinded that a lot, bro. You know, at one point I had literally everything in the game in terms of like bloodlines, or you know, Genkais, because that's what it used to be called back then, before they got their stuff almost taken down because somebody wanted to just DMCA them, or try to make an attempt to DMCA them, when there's so many anime games. Like, really, bro? I was very upset about that, because that took them out, bro. When that happened, it took their game out for like a good 3 months, bro. I'm telling you, bro, because they had to revamp the whole game. They literally had to revamp the whole game, bro. It was crazy. And then even when they like came back with it, bro, like the game modes, they were all bugs. Some of them didn't even work. You get what I'm saying? Bro, they had it, and it was also the one time, if you remember back then during war mode, to get like 10 tails, right? During that time, they had it where you could get the 10 tail scroll by just hopping servers. I don't know if you remember that, but if you remember that, yeah, you probably a veteran, my guy. You're as much of a veteran of Shindo as I was. I wish I could show y'all all the footage, like the screenshots of me grinding way back, but I don't have them no more, bro. I don't have them because I think like the first time I went to go and get like my PC upgraded, I got like a SSD drive installed, and I forgot to, you know, back up all of my stuff, so all of my stuff got deleted, bro. And I feel like that was probably, in terms of the most maddest I've ever been, that was probably one of the most maddest. That's probably the last time I've ever gotten very, very, very mad, like Yujiro HANMA type of mad. Like, remember when Ali he trolled him, bro? Like he had trolled Yujiro, because he was like, yo, like you're not gonna try to make a I remember when it was like Ali and Yujiro, right? And Yujiro decided to just like lay on the ground, right? Because he did the same thing to like his pops, and his pops didn't know what to do. So he like laid on the ground. He's like, yeah, what are you gonna do? And Ali's like, well, I mean, why would I do anything? You're already down for the count. You're not trying to make an effort to like fight me. And he just decided to just literally walk out of the room, and he got so mad, bro. he's like what? But he storms out of the freaking room, dog. And bro, Ellie, he's nowhere to be found, bruh. He is nowhere to be found, dog. He dipped so fast, boy. Ooh-wee. He dipped so fast. But yeah, I would compare like my anger to that, because I was very pissed. Bro, oh my gosh, the amount of stuff that basically disappeared, like all the memories that I had, even from Project Baki way back from 2020, bro. We're talking like 2018 all the way up to like, I think 2022 or 2023, in terms of like screenshots and recordings I had of like Roblox when I played it. All of that got deleted. And then, you know, like other things that I was pretty upset about too, like my legendary soundboards that I made, right? With me using my Go XLR. I had a bunch of like really, really funny soundboards and good ones that I made up just using my own voice or whatever. And yeah, like I said, still, even with me thinking about it like today, it's still just, it hurts, you know. It's like a type of pain that I don't think it'll ever go away, you know, because it's like, dang, you know, I wish I could get all that footage back somehow, because I'd be the happiest man on the planet, just being able to just have all of that stuff back if I could get it back. But it's just not possible. It's been, I think, 3-4 years since that's happened, where I like changed, you know what I mean, changed the drive to the SCD drive, and all that stuff's gone. And it's like, there's no way for me to get it back. I don't think so, but I really wish I could, man. You know, because I would love to see, especially like Shindo. I had so many screenshots back in the day from Shindo, and it's like I don't even have them no more. Screenshots, recordings, everything. And Baki too. A lot of games. Baki, another game I got into after I kind of just dipped off of Project Baki, because like I said, it went like 2-3 months like after the inmates update. It went like 2-3 months without any like noticeable updates, right? Like I didn't see update for a very long time, so eventually I just hopped on another game, and I just got so glued into that game that I never really cared to go back on Project Baki. I think there was one time when I hopped on when they had the summer event, but I didn't even care about doing it, you know? Wild, right? And then there was another time when I think it was like they had the Christmas event. I didn't even care to do it. And now it's like 2021, I think, or 2022, you know? So, but now that I look back on it, I'm like, dang, considering how Shindo is nowadays, like Shindo, for me, it just died out, man. Ever since the DMCA, it's never been the same, you know? And if I would have known, like, if I were to go back in time, and we're talking like back in time 2020, and knowing what I know about like Shindo and how it is today and how they got DMCA'd, I would have probably never even hopped on the game, because yeah, that's just how I feel about it. Like Shindo, the only thing after that after they changed the whole game, right? The only thing I was playing on there, which is so crazy to me, because you know I don't really care about PvP like that, right? But the only thing I was playing was World X, which was purely PvP. That was the only thing that honestly brought me joy, you know, playing Shindo. Because when it came to streaming, all I streamed was Warzone, and guess what? Well, War Mode, that's what I meant to say. That's the only thing I streamed. And, you know, helping people with 10 tails, yada, 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 right? And guess what? I mean, they didn't have War Mode. They didn't even have it in the game. They took it completely out of the game, right? So it just defeated the whole purpose of me just being on there at that point. And like I said, when I first hopped on Shindo, I thought it was one of those games that I would always be able to play. Like I would never get bored of the game. Like I thought that was like the game that I was gonna be known for, seriously, in terms of streaming. I was like, yo, this is the game. And then after that DMCA, man, them also almost getting DMCA'd or getting threatened with a DMCA, like yeah, it was never the same. So like I said, if I were to just somehow I just wake up and it's 2020 all over again, yeah, I feel like I would still play the other games like Titan Age. I just wouldn't hop on Shindo. So I'd probably just play Titan Age and Baki until all the way up to 2025. You know, because I played Baki in 2020. I played it a lot towards almost the end of 2021. I hopped off. I played other games, Titan Age, Anime Mania, Heroes Online, Shindo. Like I was playing a lot of different games, and I was also, you know, grinding on a bunch of different games at the same time, which it was fun. Like the you know, those games were really enjoyable, so it didn't really matter how much I grinded on them, even though I couldn't really grind on them as much because, you know, I still had school. And, you know, school wasn't bad. It's just obviously with school you gotta You know, you gotta sleep, you gotta wake up, you gotta get prepped. You're staying in school for like about a good, I don't know, 7 hours or something, right? 7, 9 hours. So obviously that, occasionally having tests, occasionally having projects, you know, occasionally having homework assignments that are just absolutely just tedious. Like, you know, you're gonna sit there for a fat minute. Right? Oh, I got an essay due in the morning, like but it's already 12. All right, well, today's gonna be a long day. You know what I mean? So stuff like that, yeah, it kind of just limit the amount of time that you could really put in terms of just really enjoying what you want to enjoy. And I didn't really play that much. I mean, I played a lot, but I couldn't really play like crazy until it hit like the weekend, unless I had a whole lot of stuff to do, you know, like maybe like 2 projects in a whole, you know what I'm saying? I got 2 projects I gotta do, and then they're gonna be due by like the middle of next weekend or something like that. And I'm like, okay, I gotta tackle these. Also, during that time, I didn't stream like daily. I tried to, but I just knew it wasn't gonna work because, like I said, I mean, we have school the next day. It's just not gonna work. So I would stream like on the weekends, like, you know, Friday, Saturday, and that's normally what I would do. For the most part, because I already knew, like, yeah, I'm not gonna be able to put as much time as I want into this. And obviously when it hit summertime, oh yeah, Brody was going crazy, man. I was broadcasting my gameplay, even though back then your boy didn't have no desktop or anything. I was like streaming on console, and you know, streaming on console back in the day really sucked, bro. You wouldn't really get that much attention, bro. People would basically never see your page, bro. I'm just gonna be honest with you. You know, I'd be streaming like from, you know, Twitch, and yeah, people would never see it because I don't know. It just wasn't, you know, it wasn't really good back then. I don't think Twitch had like a very good system when it came to streaming on console. But still, you know, I would still have occasionally some people that would hop in, they'll see it, they'll say something, I'd be like, oh, okay, like, oh, I got a viewer, like, wow, like, that's really cool. I mean, now that I think about it, I don't know who, I feel like it was my mom that honestly got me into like streaming or wanting to make content. So I remember it was a day where like my mom was playing like Final Fantasy or something, and she was talking about a streamer at the time named Ninja, and I was like, who is that? You know, she's like, you know, watching them, and she's like, oh yeah, this dude named Ninja, he plays, you know, da 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 da. And I think at the time he was playing like Final Fantasy, and I'm like, oh. And this was like when I was really young. I'm like, what are you watching this off of or whatever? And she's like, this is Twitch. I'm like, oh, okay. I'm like, wow, that's pretty cool. I'm like, oh, so you like, you know, is he going live or whatever? And she's like, yeah, you can go live and do all that. So I feel like that was like the first like scent of inspiration that I got for me to, you know, start streaming or just content creation in general, right? But I'll say in terms of streaming, yeah, that was like the first like little sense of inspiration where I was like, ooh, that looks fun. I think that's something I want to do, right? I'm like, yo, that looks pretty cool. And you know, Ninja, he was good, bro. He was cracked, man. Especially when it came to Fortnite, bro. Like when Fortnite started, bro, Ninja was going crazy. He was cracking 90s on kids, bro. He was doing, but he was cracking what 90s on brodies, you know? But as it progressed, I mean, now it's like ain't no point even playing Fortnite. You feel me? Like everybody's busted. Everybody build it in 3x3s in 0.5 seconds. Like, okay, what is there, you know, like, what is there to prove at this point, man? Probably nothing. You know, like, everybody's just so busted. Like, come on. Just you know, the skill gap is just, there's just no skill gap for real. Everybody can build fast, everybody can go ham, you know. Like, yeah, what is there to talk about, you know? But yeah, moving on. Like I said, I kind of streamed a bit. I started streaming on console, and I guess this is like giving a little bit of lore onto just I'm a doodle bob, right? You know, Lowkey getting a little bit of lore into like streaming. But I started streaming on console, and eventually, once I actually got like a desktop, like a gaming desktop that was somewhat decent, I would say at the time it was really good. I was very happy about it too. The first, what do you call it? The first thing I used in order to like stream was called XSplit. Now I don't know if y'all have ever used that. That was the first thing I used to broadcast my streams on like Twitch and everything. So, you know, if you didn't know, now you know, right? That was the first thing I used. That was like the first one. Then after that, I used, what was it called? I used Streamlabs. But Streamlabs was very nice. The thing with XSplit is, yeah, it would share my gameplay, it would show my gameplay, but my gameplay, sometimes you'd be able to hear it, sometimes you'd be able to hear me, and then the majority of the time, yeah, you'd see my gameplay. Sometimes I'll rock cam, you know. I think one of my oldest clips, if you were to look on my Twitch, is literally one of those days where I was literally you know, playing 7 Days to Die, and I was using XSplit at the time, I think, to broadcast my gameplay. You could see the game, you could see me, but there was no audio. You couldn't hear no audio at all, man. And that's just, you know, I never really noticed it when I was, you know, I don't know, I just never noticed it. I feel like if I would have just, you know, looked at my stream like on my phone or whatever at the time, I would have most definitely noticed. I would have like, oh, there's no audio, I wonder why. I think I tried to troubleshoot it a few times, but I just didn't know what was going on. I think there was like one moment where I checked and I'm like, there's no audio, and I tried to troubleshoot, but obviously it just wasn't working. So eventually I was like, you know what, we're gonna have to switch to something else. And at the time I saw Streamlabs, which is very good. There's a lot of people that still use it to this day. People say that it's basically like a replica of OBS, which it basically is. It's like an easier OBS in a way, right? They have a lot of settings, or not a lot of settings, but they have a lot of overlays on Streamlabs that you can use that are already prepped, ready to go for you to, you know, go on and just get started. Whereas OBS, you have to kind of set everything up. So, you know, for the longest I used Streamlabs, just because I'm like, yo, it's way much easier. I don't have to set up anything. And when it came to OBS, I was kind of scared to use it, because I'm like, yo, I gotta literally, you know, set up the sources and everything. I'm like, yo, I'm just thinking about it, and I'm like, yo, that's gonna be tough. That's gonna be tough as hell to do, right? When in reality, it wasn't tough. It wasn't tough to do. So, you know, maybe after like a year of me using Streamlabs, I switched to OBS. Why did I switch to OBS? Well, there was a couple of problems that I've noticed. One of the biggest ones is my streams would always disconnect. They would always randomly disconnect. It was almost like every day they would disconnect, and I did so many things to try to I did so many things to try to troubleshoot it, as you know, buffering. I tend to buffer occasionally, so you know, bear with me. Bear with me, guys. But I did a lot of things to try to troubleshoot it, and nothing would ever seem to work. So eventually I was just so fed up, you know. My streams are shutting down, you know. It would just randomly happen out of blue. I'm like, why is this happening, right? Middle of the stream, I'm like, you know, giving some good old content, good old gameplay, commentary, as I always tend to do, and then bloop. Oh yeah, your services have been, you know, your I forgot what it says, like your connection has been disconnected, or your recording or your stream has been disconnected or whatever, right? Oh yeah, it say like disconnected from server or cannot connect to server or something like that. That's what it would always say, and I'm like, bro. One time it got so bad to the point where it would disconnect like every 30 minutes, or it would disconnect at like the 30-minute or like the hour mark, exactly at that part. And I'm like, what the heck is going on? And that's what made me just be like, you know what, I don't even care, bruh. If I gotta set up my own stuff for OBS, I'll do it. And that's when I started using OBS, and that's what I still use. I'm using it right now, as of now, to record what I'm recording right now. You know, the Relaxed Random Recordings. You know, this is part 2, baby. So using it right now, and I've been using OBS. I feel like it's honestly the best. Now in terms of like bot commands, if you want to get into streaming, I would recommend to use Botrix. Botrix is very, very good. I'd also recommend to get premium with Botrix, because with premium you can get text to speech, you can get the song requests, and a whole bunch of other things that are really good. But a text to speech is very nice to have. Okay, there's not that many good plugins, like maybe Nightbot, because Nightbot was I think that was probably one of the first bots I used when it came to Twitch, and it's a very reliable bot. It's really good. But I switched to Botrix because at the time I was thinking about like streaming on Kick. Not like at the time I first started using OBS, but like after I already started using it, when Kick, that streaming platform, kind of came out. That's when I decided, okay, I'm gonna use Botrix, because you can use Botrix with multiple platforms, and that's what makes it so good. I don't know if you can do the same thing with Nightbot. You probably can, but it doesn't give you as much options, right? It probably doesn't give you as many platforms as Botrix does. But another very, very good feature. Let's say you have been using Nightbox. Let me drink some water, because I've been talking for quite some time. But yeah, let's say you are using Nightbox or Nightbot. I don't know why I keep on buffering so bad. It is pretty late. I basically just got done like streaming like maybe 2 hours ago or something, but you know, hey man, it's typical. You know, like I said, I just felt like recording, so I'm like, yeah, why not? But let's say you have been using Nightbot. You can actually take all the commands from there and you can convert it to Botrix, which is what I did. So I didn't even have to do anything for real, right? I didn't have to make a whole bunch of new commands. Yeah, I had to make a couple of them, but I was able to move all the stuff that I have from Nightbot to Botrix. So that's another good thing, right? A very, very good thing. So if you want to use Botrix, that's what I use in terms of streaming. It makes it easier, especially with like the text to speech, because then whenever somebody types something in chat, you don't have to always look at it. Because I don't know, a little habit of me, bro. Every time somebody types something, I just read it out loud, unless they just say something that's obviously crazy, like, yeah, Diddy had blue balls, bro, or, you know, Diddy, I don't know, man, Diddy, he wanted to be the diddler, and I'm like, whoa. You know, obviously I wouldn't read something out like that. I'm just giving some examples. Or some dude says big blue fuzzy balls or something, you know. Like, what? Hey, yo, obviously I wouldn't read something out like that, right? But it's just like something typical, like, okay, yeah, you know, oh wow, the bookcase, how did you get Yujiro HANMA? And I'm like, you know, I'll just read it out and be like, yeah, so how I got it was da 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 da. Some people don't like when I do that, I ain't gonna lie, but the main reason why I do it is so that the person knows that, number one, I saw their message, right? And number two, to get their attention. Because if I'm reading your message, obviously you're gonna be like, oh, this guy's reading my message, and then I give you a response after. It's like, oh, okay. Right? So I don't know, plus I just don't mind doing that, right? I don't mind reading somebody's message, bro. It's almost as if I'm giving them somewhat of a voice. It's almost like I'm being a bot in a sense, like, you know, like I'm almost doing, well, not almost, but basically I am being somewhat of a text to speech bot for them before I answer their question, right? So, you know, some people, there's a lot of people that have gotten puzzled about that, especially on Discord. Like, somebody will type something, I read it out, and they're like, bro, what are you talking about? I'm like, oh yeah, I'm reading what so-and-so said. And they're like, oh, even though I'm pretty sure they know that. I'm pretty sure they know that literally 90% of the time. It's just, I don't know, maybe they just never heard somebody reading out a message aloud, I guess, right? I don't know. But yeah. Like, yeah, I'm just reading out their message and, you know, giving them a response. Yeah, I don't mind doing that. I don't mind. But what was I talking about? Oh yeah, so, you know, OBS, that's what I mainly use as of now. I've been using it for a few years in terms of streaming, and even when it comes to, you know, making YouTube videos, I always use it because it's very easy. All I gotta do is just click record, you know, and I'm recording like right now, right? In terms of edits, because I know y'all have probably, I know y'all probably wonder, like, why don't you ever edit your videos? Like, bro, the amount of times my friend has literally asked that, like, my boy Trap. It's like, bro, like, if you were to edit your videos, like, dude, your videos could get more traction. They could really blow up, bro. Like, I feel like, dude, like, there's so much potential. And I'm like, nah, I've thought about that plenty of times. Like, yeah, I could edit my videos. Nah, I prefer to keep my videos the way they are. And just like I told him, the most I'm probably gonna do, which y'all have already seen it in like my showcase videos, the most I'm going to literally do is just pop up something on the screen using my stream deck, right? I'd be like, all right guys, so I'm gonna show you the first step onto getting this, and I just pop up like a previous recording, right, of me doing the step. I'm like, all right guys, here's how you get it, bloop. All right, so as you see right here, we got I don't know what that is, a wallpaper of me in Underworld? Huh? What the fuck is going on here? You know, what the fuck is going on here? I'm rage quitting. Of course I'm gonna rage quit, bro. Majima's he a Majima, bro. Like, imagine, bro. Imagine? I ain't about to go against him. Shoot, you crazy, dog. But nah, I prefer not to edit, and I know a lot of people, I feel like, you know, to me, I feel like a lot of people probably may feel some type of way about me not editing my videos and stuff like that. You know, some people may think that, oh man, it's just quite a lazy thing to do, which I mean, hey, I fully agree with you. You know what I'm saying? At one point I was kind of interested in learning how to edit my own videos and stuff, but then I kind of looked at it in another way, like if I were to edit it, you know, then to me it felt like if I were to edit my videos, it would make it seem as if everything is just like perfect in a sense, right? Like, dang, no mistakes, this guy he did all this in like one line, you know what I mean? And that's what made me kind of just be like, nah, I don't want to do that. You know, I don't want to make edits and be like, all right, let me take that you know, incorrection out where I just buffered for like 5 minutes straight or something, you know what I'm saying? So I feel like one of the main reasons why I don't edit my videos is I want them to be very authentic. If I mess up, I want y'all to see that, right? You know what I'm saying? I want y'all to see that I'm human. That's basically the simplest way of explaining it. If I fuck up, I want y'all to see that, right? Or, you know, there could be times where I may not mess up, but y'all, you know, I may not think I messed up on a step or whatever, right? And somebody could just tell me in the comments like, yo, like, you know, at this particular moment, you sort of did this, you know, you sort of did the step right, or you know, you managed to get through it, but you could have got through this way much easier, right? You know? And then I look and I'm like, oh wow, like I didn't even know you could do that, you feel me? Or like I didn't even know you could make a build like that. You know? So I don't know, the main reason why I don't edit, just like I said, you know, I want, you know, if I make a mistake, I make a mistake. Y'all get to see that, right? If I mess up, I mess up. And you know, I don't mind that at all. Like, you know, and in terms of my videos, I just want them to be very real. Because you know, when it comes to me talking to y'all, doing commentary and stuff, I tend to keep it real. You know, I tend to keep it 100%, 1000%. You feel me? Just like with anybody else I would talk to, you know. So yeah, I don't know, that's just pretty much just the gist of it, you know. I feel like if I were to be editing and taking things out, and you know what I mean, I don't feel like it would feel like a video to me, right? To everybody else, I don't know, y'all would probably, I don't know how y'all feel about it, right? But yeah, pretty much all the videos I've made, yeah, there's no edits in them, and I doubt I ever will do like edits like that in terms of like my videos when it comes to YouTube. So, you know, hopefully y'all still enjoy them, you feel me, despite me just, yeah, despite me being like, no edit, because yeah, I just don't want to do one, you know. I just want to be one of those content creators where I just, you know, I make videos basically like in one shot, I would say. And if it's not one shot, then it's like, you know what I'm saying, within one recording, you get what I'm saying? Because sometimes it has been like that where sometimes it has been like that where it'll take like multiple attempts for me to get something, especially like some of the styles where it's like you got to do BR to attain it or whatever, right? And I wouldn't start recording until like I got past the step. And you know, a very good thing is that you know, since I have two desktops, which I don't know if y'all knew that, but yeah, I have one towards like being able to record my gameplay, and then I have the other one where it's like gaming. And the desktop that I have that's gaming, I'm using a game capture on it. So let's say if I were to kill, you know, Captain Majima, like after I get finished with this recording or something like that, and I just say Captain Majima, yeah, that's wild, but y'all get what I'm saying. Like I managed to take him out, I get Captain Majima. I could literally go back on my game capture and record that particular moment, because you can actually go back, you know, the game capture records your gameplay to up to like I think 3-4 hours or something like that, and you can basically go back to it. And you know, I could just use my OBS on my main PC to record that like, you know, part. So yeah, you know, it's really good. It is really good for that, man. The game capture is clutch, because you know, if I complete a step, I can basically just go back, record it, you know, y'all be able to see the message and everything, you know. So if you was wondering how I was able to just literally show every single step for like the videos that I did do, in terms of like showcasing the style and showing how to get it, that's how I was able to do it, because I was using a game capture. If it wasn't for me using a game capture for my other PC, then I wouldn't be able to capture all the steps the minute I got them, right? I wouldn't be able to go back and record it unless I was using some software that just stays in the background, like Metal or Nvidia, right? Because I know Nvidia has like a feature like it, but it's not really as good. I know most people, they use like Metal, or it's some other one that they use too, but I forgot the name of it. But yeah, with the game capture, I'm always able to just go back, rewind, and you know, once I'm able to rewind it, I can pause it, get my OBS up, record me, you know, basically completing that step, and then I just save it. So whenever I make a video, I can show every single step that it took to basically get the style, and then y'all are able to see the pop-ups and everything, because you know, it just makes it a lot easier. Like, not only I'm telling you how to get it right, you're also seeing footage of me doing the steps, which makes it a heck of a lot easier, because some of these quests, they will tell you you know, they'll tell you how to do the step, right? They'll be like, all right, you gotta kill this guy without using stamina, and you're like, okay, well, I'll just use a skill, and you're like, why is it not working? And then you realize like, oh, I wasn't doing it right. You know, you see footage of somebody else doing it, and you're like, oh, why did I not think about it doing it that way? It's 100 times easier or whatever, you know what I'm saying? Or if it's just a step that's just very confusing, where okay, you got to get a kill, but it has to be in a certain condition or whatever, right? Kind of like, that almost reminds me of last April Fool's, when we had that Bleach update, and everybody was trying to get Ice Queen. In her step, when they changed it, you had to like get, I think, 2 other people to help you do the step. It was crazy, bro. But I didn't have to do it because I had already gotten it when it first came out, so I didn't have to worry about it. Which is pretty funny. But hey, bro, when it first, man, speaking of that, when it first came out, whoever managed to get to the final step and complete it, man, your whole Shadow Man got glitched, or at least mine did. But I did manage to get it restored, though, you know. It was a dev by the name of yeah, it was a dev by the name of Cactus, bro. Yo, he was a really chill guy, even though I ain't gonna lie, bro, I feel like I low-key made the dude mad, because But I feel like he probably was like starting to get a little bit agitated because bro literally told me about like 3 times because I asked him about the, you know, the sword art online sword relic thingamajiggy. I asked him about it like maybe 2 or 3 times, bro, and bro told me multiple times like, yo, he's like, yo, that relic is bug, I can't give you that. And I don't know why it didn't click in my head, but by the 3rd time he told me that, I was like, oh. Like, bruh, I don't know, man. Sometimes it'd be taking a minute for, you know, stuff to just kind of click for me, bruh. I was like, oh. I was like, oh, shit. Oh. It was so funny seeing, yeah, his name was like Pure Cactus. It was so funny seeing him in game because, like, his avatar. Bro, I mean, his avatar looked really good, bro, but it also looked pretty funny. I'm not gonna lie. And his character was like, oh, his character was big as hell, bro. I was like, whoa. Like, this dude's a giant. I was like, what the freak? But yeah, you know, like I said, I really do appreciate that guy for restoring me. Because he restored basically everything that I lost when that bug happened. It was wild. It was a wild bug, but you know what's crazy about it? I lost a bunch of stuff, but at the same time I gained some stuff from it too. So yeah, it was a pretty crazy bug. Like, yeah, I managed to gain Ice Queen, but I managed to lose like a lot of stuff, like styles, a few relics. And you know what's the crazy part? Is that the person that I completed the quest with, they managed to get some of my stuff that they didn't have. So I remember they were like, what? I was like, yo, like I got a, it's like, yo, I got a sub relic. I'm like, when did I have this? I'm like, huh? I'm like, what? How did he get a sub relic? I'm like, hold on, bro. So I only asked the dude. It's like, yo, did you lose anything? Like, I just lost so much stuff out of my Shadow Man. He's like, nah, I didn't lose nothing. And then eventually he's like, you know, he looks again and he's like, what the fuck? I just gained like, he's like, bro, I just gained like a few styles and relics. How did I get these? I'm like, I don't know. And you know, at the time I was truly thinking, this is just April Fool's, man. This is literally just April Fool's. That's literally what I thought of automatically. I'm like, yeah, this is April Fool's, you know, no biggie. My styles will come back in my Shadow Man. Nah, like a whole week goes by and I'm like, dang, bro, I still haven't got my stuff back. And like, bruh, I mean, by the time it had been a whole week, I had already reported the bug and everything. I'm like, yo, I did the final step and I lost a lot of styles, and then somehow I gained like 2 styles or something. I gained like Leatherface, a Kaiser, I think, which was pretty wild because Leatherface, during the Halloween event, I was very close to getting them, but I never got them. And same thing with Akaza, like I started both of those quests, so I'm guessing any quest you started with, it would just automatically give you it once you just got done with that step or whatever, which is pretty weird. But yeah, because I was thinking at first the person that I, you know, did the quest with had it, but they didn't even have those styles. So I was like, oh, that's pretty wild. But yeah, I mean, I pretty much talked about the whole thing. You know, I gave like a very descriptive description of it. Now, here's the thing, right? I know you're wondering, how did you manage to get all that restored? You had proof? Yeah, because during that time, I was actually streaming the update, right? I was playing the update. I was streaming it on Twitch. I ain't gonna lie, I was playing like Project Baki every day. I was playing Project Baki every day during that time too, boy. I was on a good old Project Baki streak, man. I'm not gonna lie to you, gang. I was on a good old Project Baki streak. Man, I was low-key going crazy on that joint. I can't even lie to you, gang. But it was really fun, bro. Like the Bleach April Fools, like I managed to get everything out of there. I thought I wasn't gonna be able to do that, but I did manage to get everything. So I was pretty happy about that. Other than that, I mean, shoot, like I said, I had a lot of fun, and the styles that they had were really, really good. Like Ice Queen, oh my gosh. Boy, I should honestly try to get her buff back to how she was back in the day, bruh. I'm telling you, bro. And she's still decent. I gotta try using her again and for like BR. Literally, I gotta try my OG build again in BR and see if is it still good, bro? Because I think the Infinite Gauntlet got nerfed too. Because you know the Purple Stone, that mess was insanely cracked. Like that beam would just do crazy damage. But I don't think it does as much damage as it used to anymore, man. I mean, Infinite Gauntlet is still top tier for PvE. I can't lie. It is a very solid relic. The fact that you can just snap any boss HP like by 50% and just basically instantly kill them with it too, that is insanely cracked, okay? And it doesn't even have that much of a crazy cooldown. Speaking of Gauntlet, when it first came out, you could snap as many times as you want, bro. Literally. I remember like me and one of my friends, Janitor, bro. Boy, me and him, we just sat there just taking turns, just snapping the bosses. I'll snap the boss. You know, Brody will snap the boss. And we're just speed running. Oh, boy, I'm telling you, man, that's probably like one of the most funniest, times, like funniest and funnest times you could ever have on Project Baki is when a crazy ass style or like sub relic gets released and you just get to, you know what I mean, before it gets a nerf, like a crazy nerf, because you know it's gonna get a crazy nerf, right? But before it gets a crazy nerf, you get to experiment with it while it's just busted as hell, bro. It'd be so dang funny, bro. Especially like, you know, PvP. Oh my gosh. I know people had fun with Stark V2 before that mess got nerfed, boy. People was talking, oh my gosh, they got like 3 one-shots, bro. You got some dude in the, bro, you got some dude in like the chat, they're like, yeah, cry about it, bro. Like, just use evasive, dog. Just use the evasive. I'm like, oh my gosh, bro. I swear. Sometimes it's reading like the Project Baki chat. It'd be so dang funny, bro. Oh my goodness, because some of them folks be losing their minds, bro. Some of them brodies be losing their minds when they be playing. I'm telling you, gang. Especially like the last thing I told y'all, the Captain Majima, bro. People are literally believing that it's not true, but people have literally showed proof of them getting it by just killing Majima, bro. I don't know what to tell you, gang. It's just a really, really low chance of attaining it. It's probably like 0.5 if I had to take a guess, right? Because I doubt it's 1%. If it's 1%, I feel like a crazy amount of folks, like people would even be complaining about the drop like that, but nah. If I had to say yes, it's probably like a 0.5. I mean, I could look on the Trello actually, so let me see. Maybe they put the chances of getting it on there. Maybe. Let's see, we got yeah, here we go. No, they didn't even put the chance on there. It just says defeat Goro Majima boss with a %, literally like the % symbol. Chance of attainment. So they don't even tell you the chances of getting it, but I'm pretty sure, man, it's probably like a 0.5 at take a guess. I don't know. I don't think it's a 1%. If it was 1%, I don't think anybody would be complaining about the drop like that. I don't think it's 1%, man. That's just how I honestly feel about it, but yeah. Anyway, I feel like now is the time, you know, you've gotten this far into the video. You've gotten this far into the video, you know, to prove it, just put suit and tie. Put suit and tie in the comments. In the comment section, you know? No? That's how I know you actually, you know, stayed in the video. And you got to this point, you know what I'm saying? Now, one thing I will say, you know, as I always tend to say, guys, you know, feel free to, you know, give some good old feedback, man. You know, doesn't hurt to, you know, give some feedback, even if it's like, I guess, criticism in a way. Right? I mean, I don't mind it. You know, I'm not gonna bite you. You know, I'm not gonna bite you, man. I mean, I may be mad, but nah, let me stop joking. Like, oh, he's gonna get mad. Nah, bro. I'm just joking around, okay? But yeah. Just, you know, let me know how you feel about the video game. Or if you just, you know, just want to give feedback, like, yeah, feel free. I'll probably say some, you know. I'll probably say some. If not, you know, I know I give you like a thumbs up. I give you a heart. Feel me? Like, yeah, like, just like the one Brody. He was like, yo, he was, I guess at one point I showed my build. I mean, I can't necessarily remember. It's like 3 hours worth of footage. You know what I'm saying? It's kind of crazy, right? Cause you're like, bro, you recorded 3 hours. Like, don't you remember all of it? I don't know. My mind be all over the place, man. You know? But yeah, just like the one brother I was talking about from before, he, I guess I was talking about my build at a certain point of the video, and you know, he saw my build and he's like, yo, like you're using HANMA, you should use Black Flash. And I 100%, 1000% agree with him. Black Flash with HANMA is cracked as freak, bro. And if I had Black Flash, I would use it. Most definitely. If I was using it at that point where I was doing BRs within the video, bruh, it would have been GG's. It would have been absolutely GG's. The damage would have been out of this world, gang. Yeah, he saw a build that I had, and you know, he was like, yo, you know, the build that you had, like, you know, it's a very nice build. And you know, since I saw your build, right, now I know of a build that I can make that is like, you know, like free to play, like the best free to play build, which is awesome. So who knows, Brody Brody may make like a video on that, like the best free to play build when it comes to Project Baki or Project you know, I don't know. boy, I'd be trolling. But yeah, you know, when I saw that, I was like, yo, that's dope. That's very, very dope, man, because you know, that's like one of the things I absolutely love when it comes to gaming is whenever, you know, a lot of people, you know, they put ideas together, or they like, you know, they see somebody else, they have like a very, very nice build, and then they make something that's even more cracked, you know what I'm saying? They're like, holy cow. And then, you know, they put their thinking cap on and they're like, yo, hold on, I can make this probably even better. And then you see their build, you're like, whoa, this is crazy. I never thought about that. Like, whoa, that's actually pretty gnarly right there. So, you know, I always love to see stuff like that, because it's like, man, it's like, you know, inspiration on top of inspiration. You know, it's really, it's just such an incredible thing, man. It really is. So, you know, I'm very happy that I'm very happy that, you know, the build I had, somebody managed to look at it, right? Look at it, they thought it was good, and not only that, bro, they thought of something that's like even more insane and even more busted. So it's like, yeah, bro. And free, I mean, a busted free to play build, that is fantastic, because, you know, when it comes to Project Baki, they have a lot of OP stuff, but it's like OG, you know what I'm saying? Like, if you ain't an OG, you don't really got it, right? Like Heavenly Restriction, you know? Uh-oh, I'm starting to get that bug again. Yikes. Oh my gosh, this is one, I ain't gonna lie, this is one of the things that's been happening to me recently, where occasionally I will just start to get this network error, and I don't know why, but I will literally just start getting this over and over and over and over again, like mid dungeon, or like I get to the end of the dungeon and then I get it and I'm like, what is going on? And it recently started to do that. What? I got 12 tokens? Huh? What? I thought, bro, am I tripping? I could have sworn that said 11, but now it says 12. I just got an extra token, gang. Okay. Well, I guess I didn't notice that we yeah, I guess it was already at 11 and then I turned the token in and I got 12, or I don't know. I don't remember it being at 12 tokens. I could have sworn it said 11 before I left the game, but maybe I'm tripping. Yeah, I pretty much got all the tokens that I need to get. So we're gonna buy this style right here. Boom. And then after that, we're going to buy Oshiki. Boom. Which I would have never thought they would have put this. I'm telling you, bro. Or, dude, what got me shocked the most is literally Dead Souls Majima. I would have never thought they put this in a Bazaar shop. This is incredible, dude. Like, bro, if any style that you don't have that is literally in the Bazaar shop, I would recommend for you to get it, bro. All right, let's say you don't have any of these styles. That's like over 20 tokens. Look, bro, you got a whole month to grind Bazaar tokens, and as you see, the grind is very, very simple if you have, you know, the type of build I have. But even if you don't have it, you can simplify it, right? So you can grind with, you know, whichever style you do have, right? Get first thing I'd recommend, get HANMA if you don't already have it. If you have it, that's literally a major plus, because you'll be able to use that easily, right? Yeah, bro, let's go on and get, oh my gosh, Goro. I wonder if you get the titles with them. Let's see. Dude, that would be dope if you get the titles, but I doubt it. I don't think they'll give you the titles. Like, let people be upset about that. Yeah, you don't get no titles with it, but I mean, hey, dude, my Shadow Man just got leveled up like slightly more, you know? See that? Ooh. Oh my gosh, bro, I low-key want to test this style out, the Dead Souls Majima, bro. I want to see how good it is. I know it'd be a very fun style. I'm glad I have it. Ain't gonna lie. Like I was able to get what, 2 more unattainables that I didn't have previously, because I'm missing like about 30 of them if I'm not mistaken. Missing like 30 unattainables. I still got to get Hellraiser out of AFK roll, but dude, I think my AFK roll is literally bugged, guys, because I cannot pull anything. I haven't pulled anything in the AFK roll, and I've literally spent over like probably 200-300 hours in the AFK world, bro. I'm not even joking. I'm telling you, bro, I'm not even joking, bro. Like, I'm spending like 10 hours a day just letting my character sit in the AFK world, and I don't ever get anything. The last thing I got was a specialist emote, and that was like a long time ago. So it's either, I don't know, it's either my AFK world is bugged, or I just have the worst luck in history when it comes to just, you know, unlocking things, which it is what it is, gang, you know. But anyway, I'm trying to go and look at my did I have 2 Project Valky lists? I guess maybe I did. Project Valky info. Oh, here we go. So pretty much, if we look at my unattainable styles that I don't have currently at the list I did have, right, meow, is at 31, but we just attained 2 unattainables that I did not have, which is Dead Souls Majima, which is a very good one. That's why I said, I mean, yo, out of everything you can get, you should probably get that, bro. Okay. All right, bro. That is that is a very, very OG one right there, man, if I do say so myself. And we got Rokushiki, right? So I got both of those, and eventually I will get mastered formless as well. So with those 2 out of the way, I now have 29. There's only 29 styles, unattainable styles, that I don't have, which when you think about it, yeah, that is a lot. But if I manage to get Hellraiser out of AFK world and I get mastered formless, which I know I'm gonna get that because I'm gonna start grinding BR like crazy, that may be my next video. It depends on how I'm feeling on that, but yeah, that may be my next video. Well, nah, I think that there may be actually one more. I don't know if this is OG one though. I'm about to ask people in the Discord, because I see that they have, wait a minute, it was another one. Yeah, this one too. Faye, didn't I get that? Yeah, that was another unattainable, right? Oh yeah. Oh snap, I almost forgot about that. Faye, yeah, so yeah, that's the remastered one, mastered formless. However, you can also attain mastered formless from boss rush from a completion. I think it should be very easy to get it from that. Let me look. Explosive, Shinobi, Edge, Runner, Margit. What about the other style though? Cause let's actually, yeah, let's check this out, bro. Cause I'm pretty sure this is this is what I'm thinking. Let's see. Yup, it is, bro. But what is the style called? Cause I don't remember what the style was even called, bro. But yeah, this is that style where you have to do like a ritual for it too. I know this style was probably pretty tough to get back in the day. I mean, one thing I would, you know, if I could go back to experience it, would probably be the a la carte event. Like, I wish I could have actually participated in that, because I know for a fact I would have got that that special relic, bro. I would have worked my behind off to get that. I'm telling you, bro. Boy, I'm telling you, I would have got that. No matter how difficult it probably was back in the day, I would have most definitely got it. Other than that, the first Halloween event they had where you could get Jason, like the OG Jason. I wish I could have. Man, I know that was so peak, bro. I'm telling you, I know that Halloween event was peak as heck, man. Those are like the two things I wish I could have probably experienced back then, or like been there in terms of like Project Baki. I'm still kind of scrolling on a Trello because I'm trying to see which style is this. Oh my gosh, bro. I wonder if somebody got invincible from using the code, bro. The, you know, the free unattainable code. Imagine somebody got it. You're probably the happiest man on the planet. I know I would be. I'd be the happiest man on the planet if I get invincible from boy. Would have been happy as heck, boy. And Metal Bat would have been so nice if I could have got that. There's so many unattainables. Main. Shoot, the fact that you could have probably got a Torius or like Saitama. Dead Souls. What is this style called? Oh yeah, a lot of people. I heard somebody they got Jack Frost from like one of theirs, which that's a really rare style. So the fact they managed to get that, like, huge props to them. They were actually one of the lucky ones. I don't know what you call this style, dude. I don't even know. I'm looking through this. Half Demon Kenjutsu. Main on me. Jack Frost. Half Demon. Sundowner. Yeah, I don't even know, bro. Maybe once it goes back to like regular, you know, we get back to regular. Half Demon? Is that what this is called? I mean, it does have a move called Divine Demon, but yeah, whichever style this is in a list of unattainable styles, I have it. So I in total, if I get everything like Hillriser, and I get Master Formless, I should have only 26 styles in terms of like having every style in the game. I guess you could say 27 technically, since Invincible, you know, Invincible is one of the styles that you can, I guess, have, and it is unattainable, which I don't know why I don't have it. I mean, I used Invincible. That's how I managed to get the Rage relic, as well as the title, because Invincible won the war basically. So I feel like, you know, it would have been nice if they would have gave folks the, I guess, the style that won, but then again, I could see how people would probably be pretty upset about that in a sense. But yeah, I don't know. I mean, hey, pretty much there you have it, man. We managed to grind up the 12 tokens. I feel like the game glitched out and just gave me an extra token for some reason. I don't know why. Like, I feel like that's what happened, but I have to look back. Y'all could probably look back for me. You know what I'm saying? And see what happened. Like, how many tokens did I have before that? Did I have 12 or did it just glitch when I disconnected and I just came back? It just gave me a token for free, because that'd be crazy if it did that. Like, I just exited, I came back, like my game crashed, I came back, and then I looked, extra token. That'd be pretty wild. But hey, I think that'd be basically about it for this video. Hopefully y'all have enjoyed me, you know, yapping and grinding good old Bazaar tokens, you know. Who knows, you can just probably just watch the video and grind and just listen to me in the background. Cause you know what I'm saying, in a sense, you could actually grind Bazaar tokens with me. Yeah. But hey, on a serious note, man, as always, I really appreciate y'all for tuning in. You got to this point, man, you know, you watched from the first few seconds all the way up to here. Appreciate you, bro. Really appreciate your time. Hopefully you enjoyed watching as much as I enjoyed you know, playing the game and giving some good old commentary, like I always tend to do, man. You know, good old Johnny, man. Boy, I'm so glad I don't have to gamble. Woo! Man, if you know that video, boy, I was low-key losing it. I was low-key losing my marbles, man. Was that during the Christmas event, or I don't even know. I was low-key losing it, bro. I think I spent like over 100 million yen or 200. That been starting to remind me of the old day, man. When I ain't had that much yen. I thought I had a bunch. Had like 240 mil. I used all that yen up, bro. I was like, dang, bro. I was a sad panda, as they tend to say. But yeah. Besides that, if you really enjoyed the video, you know, make sure to like, hit the sub button, also hit the notification button so you know whenever your boy is coming back with you with another amazing, incredible, wow video. And yeah, I don't even know if I said that in the last one. I probably didn't. You know, like I said, I'd be still, it's probably gonna still take me a minute to get used to making, you know, YouTube vids and stuff, but you know, it's just, it's a process, you know what I'm saying? It's a process of life, man. But yeah, as always, y'all have a good day / night, whatever the case may be, and I shall see y'all later.